Hello, YouTube. Have you been wondering what the difference is between the PDP Pro SD and the PDP Pro E? I've been wondering too. Well, if you've been looking on YouTube for an answer, good luck with that. I haven't found anything. That's all about to change right now, because I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back to the channel. And those of you who are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see here. If you do, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And by all means, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of more content as it's released. Also, you can go on our Facebook page, the Dr. Tactical Facebook page, because we always post the videos as soon as they're released on there as well. And we do that because YouTube can't really be trusted. They're not big gun channel fans. However, that's more of a reason to subscribe, not just to our channel, but pretty much to all gun channels. The more you do, the more it shows them that the numbers are there. And numbers matter then because that translates into advertisers. So by all means, please like and subscribe to as many gun channels as you can, including ours. Okay, so on to today's topic. So today, I have been looking to do a comparison. I've been looking for a comparison actually for myself, between the PDP Pro SD and the PDP Pro E, which the E just came out, I believe it was June 27th of this year, 2024. So here they are. I've got them. I couldn't find any reviews on them, but I'm about to give you one. But right before we do, quick word from our sponsor. The fact that you're watching this channel right now tells me at least 4 things about you. First, you're attractive. You know it, you look good. Second, clearly you have great taste in video content. Third, you're a gun enthusiast. Like myself, you enjoy guns, but you also have a deep respect for guns. You understand their value and you understand what they're capable of. You've made a decision to make them part of your life. They add a layer of protection and self-defense, even though you hope never to use them. Some of us take it to another level where we actually walk around our day-to-day life carrying guns. Again, not planning on using them or hoping to use them. We simply have them there and it makes us feel a little more comfortable. Now, the 4th thing I know about you is that you go online. You live in cyberspace. You're doing it right now. Now, that's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes into play. Aura protects you where your guns can't. It protects your identity. It protects your medical records. It protects your bank accounts. It protects all kinds of things that are out there online that really, unfortunately, unscrupulous people can get hold of and destroy your life. Aura will give our viewers a 14-day free trial. Just click on the link. This is not the link. The link's down in the description. This is just up here to see. Anyway, click on that. It'll give you a 14-day free trial. Wait till you see what happens. You get less phone calls because it stops your information from being sold. So you'll find you get less unnecessary phone calls, less unnecessary emails, and you'll be notified when things change with your bank. I've had it for over a month now, and I have been really surprised and impressed with what it's done for me. So feel free to give it a try. Let me know what you think of it. Okay, so as promised, this is going to be a fairly short video because there aren't really that many differences, but there are distinct differences between these two guns. So let's go ahead and let's get into them. For starters, MSRP. MSRP on this gun here, this is the PDP Pro SD, is $899 for this. And MSRP on this gun here, the PDP Pro E, and I'm going to stop saying that. I'm just going to call this one the SD, and we're going to call this one the E. They're both the compact versions, by the way, just so you guys know. And they've both been cleared. They're both empty, and they've been safety checked. Okay, so $899, $799. The SD has a 4.6-inch barrel, while the E has a 4-inch barrel. Okay, so the 0.6 has to do with the front end for the suppressor. This has a protector on it, but it's threaded for a suppressor. So they both have 7-inch slides. The overall length is a little bit different because of the suppressor length barrel. So you're looking at 8.1 inches on this and 7.5 inches on the E. So that makes sense. Also in the box, the only difference, and by the way, neither of these things come with stickers. What the hell's going on, Walther? I love my stickers. Anyway, no stickers in either box. This is on loan to me by the Gun Tree Club of Maryland. And by the way, thank you, Neil, for lending me this E. I might put a DoctorTactical sticker in this box because I feel so bad. Whoever buys this, it's going to be a Gun Tree. I don't know how many he has in stock, but one of them, not fired, it's just being used for showing, will have a DoctorTactical sticker in there. So congratulations to you. Okay. So in the box, the only difference, the only thing that came differently in the box for the SD was a captured guide rod with a spring, and this is for suppressing. So this will deal with the higher pressures. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the wrong side. The higher pressures that are associated with suppressed shooting. So, but I think that they both have the same internals. Let's take a quick look at the internals right now. So with the exception of the obvious wear on the PDP that has shot a lot and actually hasn't really been cleaned recently, so it's got to be cleaned. But otherwise, all three of these have pretty much identical internals. So there's nothing really differentiating except for the SD, which has the longer barrel with the threads in the cover. But otherwise, the internals appear to be pretty much exactly the same. Okay, so another difference between the two are the base plates. The base plate here is aluminum on the SD. The SD comes with 3 18-round aluminum base plates. Okay. The E comes with 3 18-round polymer base plates. I'm not sure which I even prefer. Anyway, but that's a difference. So far we've got the barrel, basically the barrel length, having the threading for the suppressor. We've got the the additional spring, but that's because of the suppressor also. We've got the base plates, and then thirdly, I saved the best for last, the dynamic performance trigger, and they're a little bit different. Let's dive into the triggers for a moment. Before we get into these triggers, I just want to show you that the PDP is so committed to these deep slide cuts that they've gone so far as to even put them on their box. Look at that. There's virtually no way you can drop this box. These are that aggressive. Good for you, Walther. All right, let's look at the triggers. So let's start with the regular PDP. Okay, so this has a spectacular trigger. So if we pull it back right about there, so about just to that point. Now this is a curved trigger, I should point out, with a little dongle or dingus or whatever you want to call it in there. So there is a little piece, the safety piece there. Now, when you take it back, if it were a straight trigger, I think that would be to about 90 degrees, but it is curved. So you bring it back, little bit of squishiness, and then boom. That is really nice. It's a very, very nice trigger. It's one of the things that really sold me on this gun. Coming forward to the reset, very short, tiny little bit of movement, and bang. Really, really nice. Okay, now let's look at the PDP Pro SD. Let's take the mag out. Okay. Now we have a flat-faced aluminum trigger with an aluminum little dingus in it. Or dongle, I'm not sure what you call it. Anyway, the little safety piece. So it goes in, very little movement to the 90-degree mark. Now I'm up against a wall. Little tiny bit of movement. Okay, let's try that again. It's hard to do this and show it. All right. Here we go. To the wall. And it just pretty much goes. There was almost no movement on that. Let's reset. Right at the reset. Tiny movement. Bang. Really nice. Okay. So this is the PDP, the performance duty, PDT, I guess, performance duty trigger. This aluminum dynamic performance trigger that we have here in the SD. And this is the plastic, or polymer, sorry, dynamic trigger that we have in the E. So it is a plastic dongle or dingus and a plastic trigger. Both of the Pros, the E and the SD, are straight triggers. So let's see. Okay. So halfway. Little bit of squish. Bang. You know, I don't know if it's because I know it's polymer. I feel it flexing. I can't imagine it is. I think it's in my head. Let's see about the reset. Nice. Damn nice reset. Let me see something. I feel like the metal is a hair stiffer, but it's really not quantitative. These triggers are phenomenal. You know, I shoot staccatos. I shoot, you know, the Sig Legion SAO. I shoot the Sig Zev. I've got all these Gucci'd up triggers, and from a striker's fire standpoint, these things are just unmatched. I know that Canik or Janik, depending on how you pronounce it, has tried to keep up with them, but or mimic them. But I can't imagine anything being better. I'm giving this one the edge, but it could just be because I know it's metal and I feel like it's stiffer. I don't know that it legitimately is stiffer. Let's get some weights. I kind of made a big claim. I just ran downstairs to go get my trusty Wheeler trigger gauge, trigger scale. And as I'm down there, I'm like, you know, I just compared them to a hammer-fired, not just a hammer-fired gun, but to the Staccato. So I brought up my Staccato XC, one of the best triggers that I have. Definitely one of my favorite slides of all time. This thing's like butter. But just for fun, let me just do a side-by-side. Because I consider right now I'm giving the edge to the SD as out of these three. But let's just see something. All right, that's incredible. Okay. Can Walther live up to that? No. It was a great trigger when I was just comparing. Now, granted, this is my XC, which is sort of a competition style gun. I do have a CS and a C2. I think if you guys are interested, let me know, and I'll run this against the CS, and I'll also run it against my Shadow 2 Compact, because these are all three top-tier carry guns, and I think that would be more comparable. This may not be fair. For the record, though, the XC, kick-ass trigger. So I'm just going to take that out of the equation. That's not fair. All right, we're going to check some Walther trigger weights here, starting with the performance duty trigger on this gun, the traditional PDP. I'm going to be using the Wheeler scale, which I can actually push on from this end because the mechanism's up in the trigger. Excellent. 3 pounds, 3.5 ounces. Now, it's important to note this is a curved trigger, and depending on where on the trigger I'm pulling is going to affect the weight that I read. And I tend to pull down fairly low on the trigger. So let me enter that in. We'll get 2 more readings on this. Let's see what our average is. I'll try to stay a little low on that too. 3 pounds, 6.8 ounces. This is a phenomenal trigger, by the way. I mean, it sold itself when I felt it. 2 pounds, 15.3 ounces. Wow. You know, I'm going to get 1 more reading just to make sure nothing. I may have been really low on that. Oh, hold on. That didn't count. I gotta. All right. 2 pounds, 15.5 ounces. Wow. All right. So I'm averaging on this out of the 4 pools, 3 pounds, 2.3 ounces. That's really surprisingly low. Now this gun has shot, I don't even know how many rounds this gun has shot. It's over 2,000 rounds. So this is a very broken in trigger. The other 2 guns that I'm about to use have never been fired. So let's start with the E. I'm super curious here. Okay. There we go. Flat trigger here, but still position matters. 3 pounds, 2.8 ounces. Okay. Let's enter that. 2 pounds, 11.5 ounces. I don't know how much I'm trusting this scale. I mean, it's, well, let's see. 3 pounds, 6.9 ounces. We'll do a 4th just to be consistent. £3 pounds, 9.7 ounces. So I'm averaging about 3 pounds, 1.7 ounces with that. Let me just feel it. It's light, but it feels in the 3s more so than the 2s. All right, let's try. So that the E averaged, according to my scale, 3 pounds, 1.7 ounces. Now let's try the SD, which is of the 3 what feels to me to be the best. But let's see how it actually measures up. 3 pounds, 4.4 ounces. Okay. £3 pounds, 7.3 ounces. £2 pounds, 9.4 ounces. But I was actually sort of touching the bottom of the trigger guard. So I was as low on that as I could be. But it is what it is, so the numbers speak for themselves. I stayed up a little high. 2 pounds, 15.6 ounces. All right. Again, this, well, it's pretty light. All right. Well, those are the numbers. Can't argue with the numbers. You can argue with the scale, and you can argue with my technique. But the numbers are what I got. So the average was 3 pounds, 1.7 ounces for the PDP SD. First gun I'm going to check is the traditional PDP. Now, the traditional PDP that I have is currently wearing the Siley, the Shark X Pro optic, which I did a review on. So that's why it's wearing it. That's going to affect the weight for sure. But it weighs in at 1 pound, 7 ounces. Okay. 1 pound, 7 ounces. Let's check out the E. So I would expect this one to probably be the lightest. It has no optic on it. None of these have magazines. I'm just weighing the guns themselves. 1 pound, 5.9. Yeah, 5.9. It's bouncing between 5.8 and 5.9. It's 1 pound, 5.9 ounces. All right. Now, the SD, the reason I suspect it to be heavier is it's a longer barrel, so that would make sense. And it's got the piece covering the threaded barrel. So, 1 pound, 6.5 ounces. All right, there's our weights. This is a fairly non-controversial video that I just did, so I don't expect too much crap in the... I didn't aim these at me, or well, I did aim them at you a couple of times, but I did announce that they were cleared. But this was fairly not controversial. I don't expect to see too much hate in the comment section, but have at it, guys. I love the comment section. I've been reading it, and God damn it, I love you guys. Except for you, Adelphi 13. That was uncool about my mom. I want you to know she reads these things. Anyway, aside from Adelphi 13, you guys are awesome. So by all means, keep commenting. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical out.